seen before, for sure.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this. So mono black control versus blue white red miracles. Now I've been playing miracles in Legacy because I have access to Brainstorm and Sensei's Divining Top and Jace.
Do you play the land tax version?
No, I haven't tried that yet, but yeah, I considered it. I don't have any land tax to play with, but I guess I'm having a lot of fun with the non-land tax version, just being like, you know, counterbalance, winning that way. Anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But anyway, I haven't played Miracles in Standard, so it'll be interesting to see how Gery's deck plays out here. So,
I mean, just a guess from my position, I think Gery probably has a huge advantage over Duncan, I would guess. Reason being, Duncan has relatively few threats. He's got 1 Gristlebrand, 2 Wurmcoil Engines, 1 Grave Titan, 4 Solemn Simulacrums, and he's got like Black Sun Zenith, Doomblade, Go for the Throat, Sever the Bloodline versus a Miracle deck. You know, so I mean, Gery could just be like, "Ooh, hallelujah! Your small number of threats," and then, you know, hallelujah, take an extra turn.
So both players' first
Pristine
spell is a
Talismans.
Pristine Talisman. So Duncan with 3 Swamps and a Pristine Talisman. Gery with all 3 of his colors and a Pristine Talisman.
Duncan's gonna go Solemn here.
Yeah, Solemn Simulacrum from Duncan.
Rookie tap there. You always tap the Pristine Talisman unless your opponent is playing with Sorin. Your opponent's playing with Sorin, then you hold back the Pristine Talisman.
Right, because if he tens you.
He tens you, then you go to 11 so that he can't kill you with Sorin's Vengeance.
Right.
But otherwise, you might even forget to tap the Pristine Talisman.
Yeah, do it when you can do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a small thing, right?
Right,
He's probably not going to forget.
He could be facing down, you know, some kind of blue, white, red Delver or something and have a Tragic Slip in his hand and couldn't kill it. So Gideon from Gery.
Level up.
Bring it.
He's got the feeling of Dread. This is like Holy Alexander Hain on the other side, except with Bonfire of the Damned.
Except with red. So.
Oh, we have a
So
Buried Ruin
from Duncan, and Solemn Simulacrum has
Duncan
to attack
real
Gideon.
big, real big. Another Solemn Simulacrum.
Yeah, so at this point, I'm totally cool with this if I'm Gery. Just like, I'm just going to tell you to keep attacking Gideon.
You know, the other thing I dislike about not remembering to tap the Pristine Talisman is that, like, if you get into the habit of doing it that way, then do you see how he has like an uneven remaining colored mana? He has black, colorless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, someday you're going to miss a Liliana tap because of that.
Right. Oh, off the top, Entreat the Angels from Gery.
Gary. Apparently it's pronounced Gery.
Hard G, pronounced like Gary. Okay, sorry about that.
Gary.
Didn't mean it.
It was Joey's fault.
My bad.
So
Gery gets 3 LSV Angels.
And I would guess there's a Sever the Bloodline in their future. Did Duncan forget to use his Pristine Talisman?
You know what? I don't know. I was too distracted by trying to think of a pun by like Angel SV. Is that what? It's just trying to think of a good pun.
And no Sever the Bloodline. Oh, so he didn't. I thought his hand motion. I thought he was indicating a pass.
So Simulacrums get in and hit Gideon down to 4. And
another
Simulacrum number 3. Jeez.
Sever the Bloodline yet? Yeah, what kind
Gery
of
could use a Sever the Bloodline right now. Although
what kind of counter spells do we say? So he has no counter spells. But miraculous Time Walk here could be very damning. Upkeep, anything?
And look, and nothing. So it looked like another Pristine Talisman.
So tapping Pristine, he's probably going to play the Pristine Talisman, I would guess. By the way, correct non-block by Gery. You know, you don't want to just fuel up Duncan's position. The other thing is, like,
you're not taking any damage here. Gideon is. And now Gideon's still not going to be. He could kill Gideon this turn. So anyway, Duncan.
He could probably just like deal with like one dude or something.
Yeah.
Or not care.
So
he needs to avoid Sever the Bloodline and or Black Sun Zenith here, but otherwise Gery seems to be in great position.
So Duncan to 12 off the Pristine Talisman at the end of Gary's turn. And it looks like there may be something happening here. Oh, is this pre-combat? Oh, he's got a Feeling of Dread, 2 of them. Okay.
Excellent.
Those guys are feeling a little dreadful.
Yep.
So they just have to send their friend in to bite Gideon's kneecaps.
Look, it's the non-tap of the Pristine Talisman. This is a lethal attack. 1 life makes a huge difference.
Wow, yeah. So you think he missed it that one turn?
He must have missed it.
He didn't miss it last turn. I saw him get it last turn. So still, yeah, I mean,
I think he missed it.
It's possible. He was doing it pretty quick, like at the end. He would just kind of like tap it real, like not even tap it, turn it sideways, but like tap it with his fingers. You know?
Actually, was that even a lethal attack? He has a Pristine Talisman. He could get attacked for 12 and then tap it.
Yeah, it wasn't a lethal attack, but I guess
he has
at
a
that
point,
yeah. But at that point, maybe he was just like, let's go to game 2. I don't know. It didn't seem lethal.
Yeah, even if I'm right, he has a Pristine Talisman to live.
Yeah, so Gery Pawelzik takes the first game here versus Duncan Howard.
All right, so let's look at sideboard. Duncan's sideboard. He's got Curse of Death's Hold, Mimic Bat, not good. Spell Skite, not good. Distress is okay, pretty good actually. Ratchet Bomb's good insurance.
Ratchet Bomb's pretty good, yeah.
Neil Spellbomb's okay. And Black Sun Zenith, I would actually be in favor of siding in Black Sun Zenith over some of the point removal.
Yeah.
Although you do want to have some number of Doomblade-ish stuff for Gideon, maybe. Although I don't know if you want to play for the game where you're actually trying to terror Gideon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Gideon never was terrorable.
Terrorable, yeah.
Terrorable.
So I think his best, I mean, he has got to mimic that, which I don't know. If you can get your Solemn Simulacrum killed, Mimic that Solemn Simulacrum is actually awesome in these kind of like do nothing versus do nothing matchups. But yeah, that might be an option. Hex Parasite gives you a beatdown option. I mean, I don't know.
Right. It also takes out a Gideon.
Maybe. I don't hate Hex Parasite.
I don't hate it. Yeah.
Nihil Spellbomb's right? I mean, Gery has Noxious Revival, but only 1.
And I don't think Duncan knows that anyway.
Maybe there's an implication. I think I would bring in Ratchet Bomb. I think I would bring in the 4th Black Sun Zenith, personally. And maybe the Mimic that, and definitely the Distress. And I'd probably take out a lot of like these Dirtle removal spells. You know, what do you think?
Yeah, it's odd because, you know, Gery wins, like Ratchet Bombs definitely, you want to bring those in, but it's like...
Duncan's only over-the-top card is Grizzlebrand, which is probably singularly more powerful than any card in Gary's deck, but he only has 1, and it costs 7. So, like, he could easily get killed by Entreat the Angels and Time Walk before he can even cast it.
Right.
So, yeah, so Feeling of Dread was insane, that game, as we saw. So, actually, Gery only has 2 Pristine Talismans. How many lands does he have? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 25. So he has 25 and 2 Pristine Talismans, which in my opinion is actually an extremely low land count for Blue, White, Red Miracles.
Yeah.
When I was testing this deck, I was in the 27 to 28 land range plus 4 Pristine Talismans.
Wow.
So the issue is Miracle cards are extremely expensive when you're not miracling them. So like you need to have an enormous amount, and then the thing is like your ability to action excess mana is very high, right? Because you're casting cards like Entreat the Angels, which have X in the casting cost. So it's okay. Like, any one miracle can have a potentially game-breaking effect, so it's okay to have excess lands if you're getting more value out of them.
Yeah, actually, I can see the argument for that quite a bit in Standard. In Legacy, it's a little bit different because you almost never are not miracling them. Like, you're almost always casting them for their miracle.
Because you can
brainstorm them back.
Well, that's really powerful.
Yeah.
So Gary's got...
So, I mean, I run like 19 or 20 lands in my
that's
miracle
different.
deck.
I mean,
in
when
Legacy.
You're playing with Brainstorm, that's like playing 23 lands.
Yeah, so. You got Brainstorm, you got Ponder, you got Divining Top, you know.
So he's got Timely Reinforcements, Consecrated Sphinx, Batter Skull, Divine Offering, Oblivion Ring, Negate, Dissipate, and Talrand Sky Summoner. He can actually go in multiple different directions and push different directions, any of which would actually be pretty good.
Right.
I think that if I were on the draw in a Game 2 situation, I would be tempted to go with Divine Offering, Negate, Dissipate, and let Duncan do what he wants to do and just stop him. If I were on the play in Game 2, I would be more likely to side the creatures in, side the threats in.
Yeah, I like that. It seems like a reasonable
Especially if he's going into Game 3, if he loses Game 2 with a with a hyper defensive setup, i.e., negate, dissipate,
right.
etc., he's going to further encourage Duncan to remove point removal, which will make Tyrant Sky Summoner and Consecrated Sphinx that much better in Game 3.
Right.
So, there are a fair number of players who've advocated operationally the repeatable strategy of taking your whole sideboard, making a 75-card deck, shuffling the 75-card deck, and then taking 15 out every time you sideboard. I think in a case like this, I doubt that Gery did that, but you would have even additional value in your kind of mental game with your opponent. Because if he sees that you didn't make very many changes, then you make radical changes in between games.
Yeah.
That's going to influence his sideboarding.
Yeah.
So you need to create even human beings look for patterns, and even in a small pattern of a 3-game set, you can help guide your opponent to suboptimal decisions.
So Gery had the mulligan there. I believe it was just a 6. Duncan on a turn 1 swamp. Gery on a turn 1 ponder.
So
off of Seachrome Coast. Sees
he
negate.
needs land.
He did indeed bring in the negate.
Well, so is he going to keep these? If he's going to keep those, I'm wondering why
he draws a Thought Scour.
Oh, he's going to scour away those 2 cards. Got it.
Sphere of the Suns from Duncan on turn 2. And it does appear that Gery either has 1 land left in his hand or
none.
None, yeah. So he goes ahead and Thought Scours away Entreat and Negate and draws Think Twice, I believe.
Looks like a genius.
There is there's an Evolving Wilds for Gery. I think that was the other land that I saw in his hand.
So the thing about a mono black control deck is your opponent, you have a lot of time to get out of a situation like this. You know, he's got no clock.
Yeah.
Next turn, you might be able to present Grave Titan.
Pristine Talisman for Duncan there,
yeah.
By the way.
Because of Pristine Talisman and on the 3rd turn, and of course, Sphere of the Suns on the 2nd turn, that's going to be an... Oh, but he's got Cavern of Souls, it looks like, right? So if you set that to Giants, a lot of problem for Gery. Terminus is a good answer, though.
Certainly is. It looks like Gery has that... Is that Entreat in his hand? It is. I'm pretty positive. He already Thought Scoured away 1. Has 1 in his hand.
Look at this. He's looking so super sick.
So he finds a 3rd land after finding a mountain off of the Evolving Wilds and passes back.
Wait, is he not going to play the... Oh, of course he's going to play the Grave Titan. All right.
So here comes
Grave Titan.
Gravy Train.
So, and then Gary's going to play Think Twice, leaving up blue-white, and just Terminus it away, I'm sure. Probably what's going to happen.
Yeah. So 2 zombies.
So we'll go with Think Twice, leaving up white, yes?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
I'm going to think twice. And what is it? It is not a miracle, but it is a ponder, and that can help set up some miracles.
Some future
no miracle on top, but it is another land. It's going to go ahead and ponder. And a 1, that's a miracle, that's a miracle, and that's a land. So he gets to decide which one of these he wants to set
Puts
up.
them in the right order, okay.
Yeah. So draws the land, leaving Entreat the Angels on top and Bonfire as the next card.
So I think I would probably feeling of... actually, do you take the 6? Do you not care? Take 6 extra, it doesn't matter, right? But you get to keep your Feeling of Dread. I think I would take the 6. So let him hit for 10?
Play a little more defensively, you know what I mean? Like, I think
He agrees with you.
Oh, wait, this is during
Oh,
Duncan's
he's got
turn.
another Think Twice.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either.
Yeah.
Oh,
Think
different
Twice
story,
during Duncan's
my friend.
turn. Terminus.
Boom.
Bye-bye. And Gery has a miracle to clear the board, and he's got in his hand Entreat the Angels and Bonfire. On the top of his deck, Bonfire. I mean, that's not that impressive of a Bonfire, the one on top of his deck, but...
Oh, so what's going to happen here? Is it Gristlebrand?
It's a Wormcoil Engine.
Well, at the very least...
Feeling of Dread will
Gary's gonna
slow
have,
it down.
Yeah, a lot of ability to slow down that Wormcoil Engine. I don't think I'd Bonfire
He does
that.
not Bonfire. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like,
I really wish if I were Gery, I had a Desolate Lighthouse in this spot. There's a lot of garbage in my hand. Particularly
he's got 3 miracles in his hand. He's basically got, I believe, Entreat, Bonfire, Feeling of Dread.
I think I let him hit me with that Wormcoil Engine the first time. right? Like,
He's
gonna miracle first.
Think twice, see if there's a Terminus on top. It's a Pristine Talisman.
Just let him hit you.
I mean, why?
Because Feeling Dread taps multiple dudes.
Okay. And that's what he's doing, yeah.
I mean, like, Duncan might overcommit. Like, you want to be in a position where your Terminus is, like, really, really high impact, right?
True.
I mean, I don't know, maybe Duncan doesn't play any other dude, but, like...
If I'm Duncan, I don't play any other guys.
All right, I think you drew another Feeling of Dread, in which case I changed my vote, yeah.
Start using them. So, Pristine Talisman from Gery.
Is that Noxious Revival?
I think so, yeah. Which can set up Terminus pretty well.
Yeah, so I think he's going to make Duncan go deep because he's got 4 taps basically right now. Make him go deep. Yep, that Feeling of Dread's going to time walk like 3-4 times. Duncan knows that that's going to happen, so interesting position might be if Gery used the other Feeling of Dread in his hand rather than one in his graveyard to further encourage Duncan to overcommit.
And there's a card.
That is a very bad card when you are the Miracle deck.
Backbreaker.
Very big backbreaker. Does he have Oblivion Ring?
On his hand.
And he's
going his board.
He's removing Bonfire of the Damned. Fine removal.
He plussed Karn there, I guess. Is that what that was? Yeah.
So the problem for Gery is that Duncan's actually got Sever the Bloodline in his hand, right? So even if he entreats, he's going to eat a Sever.
And there's the entreat.
And he's actually just playing right into Duncan's grip, I think. So it's going to be, he's like, oh, I've got a ton of angels, I'm going to be able to deal with this. No, they're going to get severed.
And 4 Angel SVs.
Well, actually, though, he can go, oh, well, there's flashback on Sever, right? So
yeah.
It's not going to be as insane as I thought a second ago.
This is awesome, though, right now. Just like Karn and Wormcoil Engine versus the guy with a million miracles.
I mean, it's this Haymaker magic at its Haymakeriest, right?
It certainly is.
The problem with this is...
I love how Karn is just like plussing, and he's just like, yeah, take this Bonfire I'm never going to cast.
But
there's the Sever.
The significant problem here is that Karn now is going to have sufficient loyalty fuel to start hitting permanents, and Gery was down in permanents to start, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this game is...
very much in Duncan's hands,
yeah, exactly. Like, very much in Duncan's favor, and I'm excited about that because I want to keep watching. I want to see a third game.
I would agree with you. I think
I'm loving this match. So, land on top, plays it.
I think he's doing the math on whether or not he should have. A second ago, if he should have gotten the Entreat the Angels back on top. Well, at least if Karn resets the game, he's not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Bonfires don't do very much at the very beginning of the game.
He's going Broodmates. Broodmate!
Entreat the Angels for 2 dudes.
Oh, he's going to bait out the Sever. Oh, this might be an exciting finish. So if he baits the Sever...
Right.
Or he actually doesn't have to. Karn can just kill one of those angels, and then he can swing with the Wormcoil Engine. There's no reason to bait the Sever.
Yeah,
did he miss the Pristine Talisman?
No, I was actually going to say, did you see how he did it? He just went like this.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Pristine Talisman, like...
Yep, baited the Sever.
And Sever the Bloodline, flashed back for all the manas.
So he's going to discard Feeling of Dread, right?
What's he got, Feeling and Noxious? Yeah, it'll be Feeling. I imagine, so he can Noxious and then...
Unless he goes for a land. I think he's got to go for hand, yeah. Oh, no. He did go for a land. I don't think that changes Gary's line. He's got to go Angels, right?
Yeah, he can go Noxious, Angels, kill Karn, hopefully. I mean, he can't Noxious the Angels during... He can Noxious Entreat on top of his deck, and then they'll be summoning 6, so he can't kill Karn right away.
Oh, he actually needs defense for the Wormcoil Engine. I'm having problems thinking that Gery can get out of this at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way myself, but, I mean, Duncan's at 44 life, so even if Gery stabilizes, it's like going to be tough for.
If Gery were at
Duncan's
6,
going to have a lot of time.
I would have a different answer.
So he did not Noxious Revival. He is going with Ponder here. And there's Temporal Mastery. So
he has the Feeling of Dread to stay alive, right?
Yeah, he has the Feeling of Dread. Oh, he's going to shuffle. I was trying to think of what he could have done there with the Temporal Mastery, which is put the he could Feeling of Dread the Worm Coil, Noxious Survival, the Entreat on top. No, it still doesn't work. I'm trying to think about ways for him to. He doesn't have a flashback of a Think Twice, does he? Or maybe he does.
I think he does.
I'm trying to think of a way for him to.
Are we sleeving?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, I think that Gery just doesn't have a good answer to Karn. He needs to be able to counter a Karn.
Yeah. And he had a negate in hand, I think, at one point.
No, he Thought Scoured the
negate.
Negate.
He Thought Scoured it away, that's what it was.
He was being too fancy.
Yeah, it was in his hand when he was looking at it off of Ponder. That's what I saw. The Evolving Wilds from Gery. And pass back.
Karn is not going to be kind to this game.
He never is.
He's plenty kind with your opponents like red-green beatdown, right?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Very kind to the opponent then.
He's now getting rid of another Seachrome Coast, and Gery taps it for mana.
Tippity taps, right?
Yep.
He's got to tap to not die.
Cracks his Evolving Wilds, gets an island.
So, Feeling of Dread. What's going on?
Feeling of Dread. There we go. Okay.
I'm like, what is he casting a Sky Summoner?
Well, he didn't have the mana for the
No
Sky
way
Summoner.
I reveal that Sky Summoner. You're not going to win this game. You do not want to disrupt his sideboarding.
All right. And Duncan has something here. It is a Batterskull. He needs to gain some more life. He's only at 44.
He needs to have a second target for things to get tapped.
Yeah, why not?
I think it's too late for Gery right now. His life total is very low. I guess if he can play...
No Miracle, but a Thought Scour on top.
He's going to try to win it? Alright, so he's going to go with the Sky Summoner here. Can he Sky Summoners? Can he pay the flashback on Feeling of Dread anymore?
I don't think so.
I don't think he can. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I think this is not right. It's just going to be a brick.
He can't figure out what he wants to do here.
But he doesn't have enough blue.
Yeah, so he just Thought Scoured away. Looked like a Feeling of Dread, or is it something else? I didn't quite see. He drew a Think Twice.
He has to hope that he can think twice into
like a Terminus or something. Or he can still...
He can Feeling of Dread, yeah, sure. But I mean, he's just getting further and further behind Karn. Karn is so unbelievable. Like, there are huge classes of decks that can just never beat Karn if it resolves. For example, like if Gery had Karn and Duncan was playing on the other side of Karn, he would have no answer to it either.
Looks like Karn is plussing here, so...
Gery has to not show him the Sky Summoner. Like that's it's like a baseline requirement of this situation.
So he pluses Karn. Is he gonna give him the Sky Summoner? I think he... No, he gives him Think Twice.
This is so bad.
I would have probably.
I'm not thinking it's wrong.
I'm
thinking it's just. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I think. Well, then I can't cast. Then he can't Feeling of Dread. He can't cast Think Twice. Never mind. So it goes up to 7 here off the Pristine Talisman. Feeling of Dread flashback.
But at least now he can take a hit from Wormcoil Engine.
Yeah.
So that gives him a little space. Except for he's going to try to Noxious Revival a Miracle. He's going to wait a turn before he Noxious Revivals his Miracle. He didn't play the Sky Summoner again, but this time he could have played the Sky Summoner and tapped Wormcoil Engine, I think.
Looking at his graveyard there is a feeling of dread in there.
I think that if I were Gery, I would have sided up the feeling of Reds.
Yeah?
You know, I mean, he drew plenty of them, and their impact on this game has been minimal.
Yeah.
Like, he's just losing to Karn instead of losing to Wormcoil Engine.
Yeah, but I mean, he did bring in the negates at least, and he may have brought in dissipates as well, just not seen them.
Karning down. Yep.
So, flashback.
You know what else
feeling of dread, Karn away your land.
I don't particularly like Bonfire of the Damned in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm kind of meh about it too. It doesn't seem great.
I mean, way rather have Divine Offering, Oblivion Ring, and Consecrated Sphinx.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what he brought in except for the negates, but looks like we're going to game 3.
Like, Bonfire's entire job was to hide under Karn in that game.
Yeah,
like
it was really just did nothing for him.
Like, if he went like Accelerate or Consecrated Sphinx, like, that would have been... Like, I don't know that Duncan had any good answer to it, right? Just sever the Bloodline. You know?
Yeah.
In which case, like, the Angels might have lived.
So, people were reminding us about Gideon attacking on that last turn, too.
What do you mean?
I mean, that last game. Game
Yeah,
1
he could have attacked, sure.
Yeah, so, I mean, he was at 12, and there were 12 power worth of Angels, plus the Gideon. So even if he'd have went to 16, I mean, even if he'd have went to 13 off the Pristine Talisman, he would have died to Gideon. So that was,
I mean,
that was what
that's
we
if,
were talking about.
I mean...
If he decides to attack with
you know
Gideon.
he's going to attack.
If I'm Gery, I kind of am happy with...
status quo?
Yeah, or, I mean, maybe I attack with Gideon. I guess it's hard to...
If you're attacking for the win, I think you'd be... unlikely to not attack for the win.
Yeah, force him to have the removal spell. So, seems right. So these guys sideboarding here for Game 3 of Round 4 of the StarCityGames.com Open Series in Washington, D.C. For those of you just joining us, we're watching a mono-black control versus blue-white-red miracles happening right here. This has been exciting just for the fact that the decks are so novel, you know? I love watching mono-black control.
They're not novel. These are the kinds of decks I always liked.
Well, yeah, that's true too. But I mean, they're novel in the fact that they're
other people are playing these kinds of decks.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited to see a miracle deck in standard doing well. I agree. Like, I don't like the bonfires too much
in this matchup. Yeah.
In this match, I mean, they're not going to kill very much.
They kill
Solemn Simulacrum.
They kill Grave Titan tokens.
That's good too, yeah. But I mean, you have like Terminus. You have.
Yeah, like I said, I don't like Bonfire very much, especially if you. I don't think that if you're the blue-white-red side, you need both Bonfire and Feeling of Dread against a deck that's got like 7 dudes.
Yeah.
Like, and in fact, Bonfire, like you said, I mean, it's just letting them draw cards off Solemn, and I think it encourages you to play badly. Like, oh, I could play for a Bonfire Miracle. Okay. Duncan went to like 40+ life that game, right?
Yeah.
You're not even gonna burn him out with Bonfire.
So Gery looks like he's looking at his hand, and Duncan as well. And looks like they're both keeping. So turn 1 Evolving Wilds for Gery.
There's no better feeling in Magic the Gathering when you're playing a mid-range control deck, your opponent doing nothing on turn 1.
Yeah.
Like
Gery searches out a mountain from that Evolving Wilds at the end of Duncan's turn.
You get a mountain. So what's his hand? Mystery hand.
He has Entreat in there. He seems to draw that in his opener a lot. Well, I mean, 2 out of 3 games.
Ponder. He's got a ponder, right?
Yeah.
Unless he has. What are you going to negate anyway?
Not Karn, not this turn.
Really? I for sure would have pondered there. Now it actually matters if you have a negate to stop Pristine Talisman.
Do you care that much about Pristine Talisman?
Yes.
Just counter Karn and sever the bloodline and things like that.
Oh, maybe you have a great point. Maybe that's right.
Just, I mean, Pristine Talisman, you're not going to lose.
Oh, this card is in my hand now.
Yeah, it just fell.
So, yep, the judge is confirming that he didn't savage. That'd be awkward on camera.
Awkward, yeah, definitely. Just shuffle cards into your hand. Why do you have 12 cards in your hand?
That happened a few weeks ago, right? Does he have a negate? We decided he had a negate?
Oh, you said something about negate. I assumed he had it. I haven't seen it yet. There's
Like,
Pristine
if you're
Talisman
holding
from
back
Duncan.
negate, you for sure, I would negate that.
I think he's got
Nope.
Talrand. Nope. He's got Talrand in his hand, I think.
Did he ever reveal Talrand last game? All right.
I don't think so. Yeah, there's a Talrand.
Summon some skies.
And there's
hope it
that
doesn't
lighthouse
die.
you mentioned. The loot house.
Loot house. Did
Duncan's
he gain the
like,
life?
what am I playing on? I don't know.
Maybe he
if
gains. You're maybe right. Maybe he said he gained the life. I don't know. To me, that's not he gained the life. Doomblade.
Doomblade for the Sky Summoner. And so Duncan did keep in spot removal.
And he keeps not this is making me crazy that he keeps not tapping the Pristine Talisman. What can you gain for a colorless?
Right, there's nothing you can do with that.
Like, there's at least bluff value on all the other plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bury that Terminus. Why is Terminus higher than Think Twice on that list?
Yeah, that was weird. So he set it up so Terminus is on top. Plays a land, says go.
Oh, he's gonna
assuming
loot away
there's
the
gonna
Terminus?
But
it might be good. Oh, I guess if it's good, he won't loot it away.
Right, like he can...
he won't loot it all if it's good, right?
Right, like here we're going to see...
Gristlebrand? What is that?
Increasing
Increasing
ambition.
ambition. Uh-oh.
Jerry's like, let me read this. Gery, sorry, I called him Gery
This
again.
is so bad. That has to get dissipated. Nope.
Where's the negate?
He's gonna get like Sicky and Gristlebrand.
There
I think.
is no
I don't know what the
negate.
Sicky is. Maybe Karn and Gristlebrand. Oh no, he only gets one. It's when it's flashback.
It's the flashback that he gets two, yeah. I was looking it up because I'm like, wait a second.
Maybe Gristlebrand.
I guess he doesn't have to show us as long as it was a card.
Yeah. So when he flashes it back, he can get two. I think he got Gristlebrand. There's just no pressure at all in Gary's deck.
We do, looks like, are we looting here? Are we going to Thought Scour?
Himself. All this stuff is too fancy.
No, he Thought Scoured him. Distress and Black Sun Zenith go away.
And puts the
He draws the
in
Terminus.
hand. All right. This is all really weird to me. All right, so he's Thought Scouring himself now for Think Twice value? No.
Yeah,
Okay.
he changes his mind. Okay, so that was all the end of Duncan's turn.
What was the point of Thought Scouring Duncan?
I think he just wanted to draw that
Think Twice?
It was a Terminus.
Oh, okay.
But
I mean, he could have done it just by using the loot thing, though. Unless
Yeah.
he likes all of his cards.
yeah, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of. He knows something weird is coming next turn, but after increasing ambition. So, like you said, I think he should have buried that Terminus because, at least 2 cards deep, rather than being the next card.
Duncan is just like baiting Gery all over the place now. He's like, Solemn Simulacrum? But I mean, Gary's deck has precious few counter magics, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm Gery, I hold things like negate for the big stuff. I would negate increasing ambition if I had the negate when the increasing ambition was cast, which apparently Gery did not.
Players in the Legacies Winterbox event. Legacies Winterbox number 1. Please come to the judges station. This is Steve's wagon.
Another Sphere of the Suns for
Legacy
Duncan.
number 1.
All right, so what's Gery got? I mean, he has so many manipulations he can run here. So he's going to start with a Thought Scour. Thought Scouring himself. for Island and Pristine
Talisman.
Talisman.
That's fine. Draws and Evolving Wilds.
I would honestly rather have a Pristine Talisman than an Evolving Wilds most of the time at this stage in the game. And looting for... Well, he already drew a card, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, discards that Evolving Wilds. Drew an Oblivion Ring.
So you should hold the Oblivion Ring in case the threat was Karn, right?
Yeah.
And he has a Terminus, so he's not in trouble. Oh,
There's a Tameo.
That's a goodie. As long as the opponent's threat isn't Karn, that's a really goodie. And depending, maybe you've got a negate, and it could be really super goodie.
Here comes Tameo, I think.
I mean, for sure Tameo should hit, right?
No, he's going to Entreat.
Entreat?
Broodmate Cease.
I dislike this play because Tameo... I mean, maybe he's playing around Karn, assumption that it's Karn. It's like Tameo can protect itself.
Yeah. Pristine Talisman number 2 from Duncan, and then Sever the Bloodline.
7 mana, no effect, basically. Tameo could be leveled up twice at this point. Like, Gery can still win an attrition fight, you know? Like, if he has the value from Tameo. All right, what are we going to see here? So, tap land. I mean, he's not playing Tameo?
Judges Linford Smith.
Do you think he's just, like, pretending he has a counterspell for whatever the big threat is? I guess he's not on any kind of a real clock.
Yeah, he's safe right now, so it's almost like he's kind of just sitting there. Okay, so a Grave Titan.
That's actually great for Gery.
Yeah, because he's got a Terminus. He's fine with that.
Is his hand really good? Should he think twice or loot?
I would think twice if I was, because he's got like Tameo, Terminus, and,
Oblivion Ring.
Oblivion Ring.
Yeah,
and
probably
think
should think
twice.
twice.
Don't loot if you want all those. Think twice shows him another O-ring. Was it O-ring number 2?
I mean, I'll take those. I think I'm fine not doing anything else now. Yeah. So the Terminus leaving up some mana is going to be the play. He just drew a Seachrome Coast in a terrible order.
Two-headed giant players. This is the last call.
There's that Terminus.
Yeah, it was great.
At the side of that stage.
But the problem is, I mean, how much do you think Duncan believes Gary's got a negate here for his increasing ambition or whatever the insane bomb is?
1, 2, 3. Pristine Talisman number 3.
He's setting up enough mana to play around mana leaks that are not in Gary's deck,
Yeah,
which is
and
actually
there's a
awesome.
Karn in his hand. Duncan has the Karn. I'm pretty sure I saw it.
He should have jammed it 3 turns ago.
Yeah, well, he
didn't
around.
know.
Yeah, he didn't. Does he have one? He just has. Oh no, he's got 3 cards. Just jam it.
There's two O-rings in Gary's hand. Like it's not.
Yeah, but I'm trying to say, like, if he's playing around a counter spell, I mean, it's not as if it's his only card.
There's no way my Tameo is not in play at this point. Like, that Tameo would be so big right now. And all he did was get an increase, a Sever the Bloodline that has flashback. Yeah.
There's Karn, and Gery has no counter spell for it. So Karn is going to tick up.
And he'll probably discard Tameo.
And he's going to draw off of the flashback Think Twice here.
Okay.
See what else
maybe
he can
gets
get.
like
Maybe get something dumb.
worthless.
And it's a Think Twice.
It's fine.
So Think Twice again. Yeah, I was going to say, what are you playing 3 for? So Think Twice. And it was a Ponder.
I mean, I think you're semi-obligated to give up. Just get rid of the Ponder, dude.
I don't know, Ponder's pretty big in this deck, though. Well, he gives it...
But
I mean,
Gary's at the point that he can beat Duncan with gross card advantage, but like the increasing ambition is bad. But at least he's only losing 2 cards to the Karn. Look at how bad the Karn was last game.
Yeah.
And he has so many Think Twices and looting ability that I don't know, the increasing ambition's pretty horrible. If Duncan increasing ambitions for another, can he get another increasing ambition? Yeah, he can. Then I take it back. Duncan might be able to win an attrition fight.
So there we go. O-ring on Karn, and Tameo comes down, keeping the Planeswalker count on the board at 1.
So lock down Pristine Talisman probably. Yep. Be interesting. I think if I were Duncan, I would be very tempted to increasing ambition for increasing ambition.
So he can do both. He can increasing ambition for increasing ambition and something else. You mean
yeah, and something else, obviously.
Okay.
And like another Karn probably.
Gery leaving up 2 mana over there, representing a possible negate. And we know Duncan saw the negate last game because Gery thought scoured it away, so probably why he'd be playing around it. But in this case, he's just going ahead and I think he just flashed back an increasing ambition. Did you see what he grabbed?
No.
I saw him pass a Grave Titan, but he may have just...
I mean, creatures aren't that good right now, right? Like, you want haymakers. They've only got 9 minutes left, actually. This might go to a draw. Well, actually, Gary's deck can win off the top really quickly, so...
Yeah, Entreat can be ridiculous, like, oh, there's a Tameo off the top. Entreat can just be like a 1-turn win. It's just...
Yeah, keep the Pristine tapped. What? I wish I knew what Gery had. He has like very few counter
He's got
spells, right?
O-Ring, Tameo, and something else. Looks like a Loot House.
It looks like Duncan got a Wormcoil engine, actually. Just nothing? Oh no. Oh, I mean, Hex Parasite. Awesome. That's awesome. Got it.
That actually makes a lot of sense. So he takes out Tameo.
Would Logan Rogers please come up to the main event stage? Logan Rogers to the main event stage.
I mean, he can't like. Well, he has presumably. And what Tameo's at 6, right? Does he have enough to kill Tameo? 1, 2. No, he doesn't have quite enough. If Gery kills the Hex Parasite. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's 3 more mana over on the far end. So is he gonna kill it now? So dead Tameo, huge Hex Parasite.
Apparently Huey Jensen just lost. I think he's out.
End of turn, think twice for Gery. Draws a Seachrome Coast. I think I would use my looter right here. Yep, looting away the Seachrome Coast in all likelihood. Temporal, that's fine, he can just hard cast it. I mean, he's not under pressure to be dead yet.
No, not at all. And
what he needs is an answer to the Hex Parasite before he tries to get going with the...
He just
drew push all the mana!
Yeah, he just he looked at it, thought about it, put it in his hand. I'm very confused.
Well,
what? I mean...
Yeah, I don't understand what Gary's going for.
Yeah, I mean, so he could have just had literally Infinity Angels.
But there is a Sever the Bloodline down, right?
Yeah, I guess so, but like you got to get rid of it at some point.
It is a military issue backpack.
What's happening?
He's counting.
If you can take a moment and look around your area.
He's casting a Distress. So right now he's like, why didn't he miracle me? Like there's like too many miracles for these have not to have been miracle based. No, he's taking I'm sure he'll take the Oblivion Ring, right? And by sure, I'm not sure at all, but I think he will take the Oblivion Ring.
Yeah,
or maybe the
weird.
Temporal
Like
Mastery?
he took the Temporal Mastery. I think that seems fine. I may have taken the Entreat because Entreat still makes several guys, but you do have Sever. I don't know. I feel like he's got the Sever. He's gonna always have that Sever until he uses it. So make him use it. You know that means your next Entreat he needs to have another Sever. How many does he even play?
How many what? Severs? 2.
2. Okay.
So Duncan's tapping a ton of land here. Oh, Sorin. That's a bomb-tacular bomb diggity. If I were going to play that card, I think I would have taken the Oblivion Ring.
Yeah, maybe you just ripped it.
It's the same turn.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, that is the same turn. And he's got Karn in play. Oh, he's just baiting the Oblivion Ring. I'm not in play. He's got Karn in his hand.
You could have just taken the Oblivion Ring and had 2 Planeswalkers in play.
There's a negate for Karn from Gery. And
what's he doing? Oh, discarded. Oh, he's using the Lighthouse. Okay.
Discards Entreat.
I don't think that these guys realize they have 5 turns left. 5 minutes left. So obviously, there's no way you pass the turn with that Karn up. O-Ring Karn.
I think we're going
to time.
You mean Sorin, right?
Sorin, sorry, and he's going to negate Karn, yeah.
Right. So, O-Ring.
Yep.
Target Sorin. All right.
Man, a Ratchet Bomb for 3 would be pretty devastating.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we going to see here? 3 generic being tapped, and he's going to go for Karn, yeah? 6.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Karn.
5, 6, 7.
Negate.
Negatory.
I mean, he gave him so much time to draw.
I know.
Like, that's...
He did play the first Karn. I don't even know when he got that second
But he
Karn.
dirtled for so many turns, you know, like... I mean, I guess he was playing around Monolith that was just not even in Gary's deck list. Let's see, what's he summoning here?
Was that Increasing Ambition? I'm pretty sure that was another Increasing Ambition.
I mean, you got to respond by some kind of card drawing. Oh, there's only 1 negate.
Yeah. So it looks like that's resolved. He's going to find, is it another Sever? There's no reason for that. He did stop around there, though.
No way, you get Karn here.
There it is. Yep, that's what he did. Grabbed his Karn.
Absolutely no other card to get.
How many O-Rings are there? Just 2.
2. They're spoken for.
Gery is pretty close to out of answers. He needs to draw, like, Dissipate.
If he has it.
Yeah,
we
if
haven't
he even
seen
brought
it.
it in. No, we haven't seen it. He's only got 2 in the board, 1 negate.
You got to make your hand better. Like, even if the cards seem pretty good in your hand, they're not good enough against what just happened, right? Is that a miracle? Is he pondering a miracle?
Yeah, I think so. It's a Temporal Master.
Don't have to ponder that one too long. 2 turns. Okay. Come on, Gery. What are we going to see here? Will we see a miracle in these next 2 turns? What if it's like, entreat the angels right off the top? That would be insane. Entreat the angels.
It's not, I don't think. Yeah, it was Pristine Talisman.
You have a free turn.
Gery with an empty board. You can Tamiyo and Tamiyo. I mean, it sucks though because Tamiyo just dies to Hex Parasite.
No, most of his mana's tapped.
No, but I mean, it dies like pretty soon. As soon as Duncan untaps, he can just kill Tamiyo at will.
Sky Summoner.
Sky Summoner. His this is his second turn, right? Or did he loot?
No, this is the first turn.
He looted into it. Okay. So he looted away the Talisman into a Sky Summoner. Plays Sky Summoner. Now he's untapping for his additional turn here, and he sees something I couldn't see.
Ponder maybe.
Well,
5 Tamiyo.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't think Sky Summoner is that good in
No,
this
it was
deck.
a Thought Scour. Okay.
What do you think?
Tamiyo. You don't think what?
I don't think Sky Summoner is that good
I
in this
don't like
deck.
it either. I don't.
Like, he's just not doing anything yet, and like these are the pivotal turns, right? Why is it attacking? Did he? Oh, he cast it last turn. Okay.
Yeah. So he attacks with Tolerand. I mean, are you really going to attack him to death? He can gain 3 a turn. He was at 47 a second ago.
I mean, Entreat would have been sweet.
Yeah. Entreat attacking him to death is actually, possible.
Doomblade.
Doomblade for your Sky Summoner.
You gotta respond, right?
Yeah, you're gonna make a Drake out of the Thought Scour. He's gonna Thought Scour. Who's he targeting with the Thought Scour? He gets a Drake. He's Thought Scouring himself, and he hits card and oh, was that a miracle? draws nothing. I think he hit a miracle. It was I think it may have been a terminus. It's hard to tell.
Loot, land, garbage.
Doomblade kills the Sky Summoner, leaving Gery with a Drake.
But, you know, again, Duncan's got eight minutes to win.
And Karn.
Oh, never mind.
There we go. Karn comes into play.
Karn's other ability.
Removes the O-ring, putting Sorin back into play. Sorin kills the Drake.
And then...
how much mana does he have available now? 1, 2, 3, just 4, right? Because I'm just seeing how close he is to just killing Tamiyo outright with the...
I mean, the damage is what's important. There's 19 seconds on the clock. Remember, he's got 3 extra turns to win, depending on how it falls.
Right, I was trying to say he could kill...
You gotta lock that down, yeah. Like, I mean, I'm assuming Gery's trying to play for the draw here, which is very viable.
Yeah, I'm looking at Duncan's side, trying to figure out if he could have killed Tamiyo last turn so that Gery couldn't have locked down the Hex Parasite, but...
This is putting Tamiyo to... 2.
Yeah, so that's what he only had 4. He couldn't kill it. So he would have knocked it to 1 last turn. After the plus ability, it knocks Tamiyo to 2. So Gery with, looks like 2 cards in hand, a Tamiyo on board.
Kills it with Sorin.
Destroyed by Sorin.
Really? Is that better than just using the Hex Parasite and then nugging him for 2?
Right, that's what I was thinking.
There's no way that's better. He's got like 100 untapped land.
And plenty of life. He can, you know what I mean? It's not like he can pay the Phyrexia mana with life.
Is he increasing ambition again? Looks like he's doing some tutoring. I think it was Grave Titan was his first card he took. I mean, Gery cannot win the game in any legitimate fashion as far as I can tell. Like, he needs some miracle.
What's he got in hand?
Entry and Temporal Mastery both.
Okay, he's gonna loot here, I think. Oh no, that was Karn. He just got Karn. Karn gets an island. He used Sorin. Yeah, Gery could be at 10 here. That could be relevant, you know?
Oh, I know.
So loot away the Sulfur Falls.
Drop.
What is it? He thinks about it, whatever it was. Couldn't quite see what it was.
Looking for flashbacks. And he's gonna loot again?
What did he draw? Did he draw Noxious Revival?
I don't know.
Like, I wonder if he was looking...
But he has not enough turns, right? Like, he needs both Entreat and Temporal Mastery
time, yeah,
to make a game of it, and that's not even everything, right? There's 2 planeswalkers on the other side, in addition to the attacking he's gonna have to deal with.
Yeah. Karn on 7 counters, Sorin on 2.
$10 draft number 4. Please meet your judge, Alex. At the center aisle, once again, $10 draft number 4. Please meet your judge. He has his blue clipboard in the air.
Terminus is going to do nothing besides get rid of a Hex.
Two-headed giant.
I mean, might as well. I'd do it.
Your seedings
One
for
mana.
build have been posted on the hot pink paper on the Sarah Angel board, just to the right of the D2G board.
So Terminus
Please
gets rid of
find your
Hex
seats for
Parasite.
Construction. Once again, the two-headed giant. Your seedings have been posted on the Sarah Angel banner. Please find your seats.
What's this? Oh, the timer's going up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it 5 extra minutes?
We're in turns. No. It's just a matter of how much time we were in turns.
Oh, okay.
So,
I think this is going to go
I feel
to
like
draw.
that's it. I don't know what turn it is. but I would guess 4 or 3.
No one will tell us.
We're gonna find out. We're checking on the things.
I think I okay.
It is
so it's turn 4 or
okay.
5. Wait, is he giving him the?
Yeah, why not just use?
Why don't you use it to get
Revival?
the Entreat the Angels and then loot into the Entreat the Angels? Oh, it doesn't matter, right?
No, because he'll get 1 attack. He can't do 53 in 1 attack.
Oh, then he should have gotten the Terminus, maybe.
Yeah, looks like Duncan Howard either has this one or that. I think that was his. Wait, if that was turn 4.
Was that Duncan's last attack?
That was Duncan's last turn.
Oh, so it's going to be a draw.
What just happened? Why did Duncan look at the top of Gery's or Gary's
I think they're
library?
deciding if one of them will concede. Or maybe he's saying, "Can I see your deck?" I don't know.
Not totally sure what's going on here. Duncan's turn should have been turn 4, which means
That's it.
yeah. Duncan unable to. Oh, did Soren just go off? That's what it looked like, didn't it?
Oh,
But Soren was on 2 counters, wasn't he?
no, it's a draw.
Okay, but still, I'm saying, was that what was happening there? I thought Soren was on like 2 counters. Because he came down.
No, he time walked him though. That's fine.
Okay.
Makes sense. Okay. We didn't. Sorry, at home. We did not realize that Soren had used his ultimate ability.
Why?
No, he must have gone down to 2 counters from actually leveling up.
Yeah,
So it's a draw.
Strange. Yeah, it's a draw anyway. But I thought that I don't think I ever saw those dice or that die representing anything near 7 counters on Soren. So I guess I was just misreading that. Unless there was another die sitting there that I didn't notice or something. Anyway, whatever. We didn't notice that, so.